So I get it, trying to level up the battle pass fast in Cold War and Warzone can seem like a really long and quite frankly quite a boring journey as well, but in this video I'm going to show you how to make it as quick and as easy as possible, hopefully a little bit less laborious as well, for the 5th season of Black Ops Cold War and Warzone. Just before we get into the video, I'm doing a COD Points giveaway for the Season 5 Battle Pass, and if you win you can use these COD Points towards tiers or buying the Season 5 Battle Pass or in-store items and bundles, whatever you guys want. If you want to enter the giveaway, the rules are in the description, but the 4 things you need to do are like this video, comment your Twitter username below this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon next to it to turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of my videos. And finally, follow me on Twitter. My username is RagerGamer and the link for that is in the description. Like I say, if you do those 4 things, you'll be entered into the giveaway. Good luck to everyone. Now this video provides every single way to level up tiers faster in Season 5 of Cold War, so be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video as it is absolutely packed full of tips. But if you want to jump to a specific part of the video, there are timestamps in the description, so feel free to check that out if you need. Do not feel in any way you got to watch the whole video, but it's just sort of, I'm showing the main tips across all the different game modes in Call of Duty. So let's quickly talk about the main ways to tier up, then we'll talk about little boosts, and then we'll talk about Cold War, Warzone, and so on. So the main ways to tier up fast include the amount of time you play in the game, the amount of XP you earn, if you're playing on a double Battle Pass XP weekend, or if you're using double Battle Pass XP tokens. Those are a new thing, so if you're not sure what they are, stay tuned, we'll talk about that in just a minute. Earning COD points, tier skips, and then obviously unique things like Modern Warfare methods such as trials. Once again, just to clarify for anyone that doesn't know, the Black Ops Cold War and Warzone and Modern Warfare games have been integrated, and what that means is that the Battle Pass content is linked between Warzone and Black Ops Cold War only, so you can use those items in Cold War and Warzone, but you can get Battle Pass progression and level up your character with normal XP across Modern Warfare, Warzone and Cold War. So all 3 games will get you progression towards your Battle Pass, and you can level up tiers, but you'll only use the items in Cold War and Warzone. So like I said, let's start off with the boosts and then we'll talk about everything else. And if you're not sure about which method is best, we'll discuss that at the end of the video. So the main boosts include tier skips as the first one. So every 50 levels in Season 5, you'll get a tier skip. So one at obviously level 50, a second one at level 100, 150, 200, 250, so on. And these can be earned by leveling up in Cold War, Warzone and Modern Warfare, because like I said, the XP system is interlinked. Now you can check out my guide on how to level up fast if you're struggling with that, but we'll talk about a lot of those tips in today's video anyway. Other ways to get free tier skips are buying certain bundles, or alternatively there are occasionally free gift bundles in the store that give tier skips. I haven't actually seen this for a while, but I'm sure it will come back at some point, so look out for the free gift part in the For You section of the store in Cold War or Warzone. Similarly, tier skips have been briefly earnable before in Modern Warfare for certain daily challenges. This currently doesn't seem to be happening again, but the thing is, now that Cold War have added XP and weapon XP tokens that you can get from doing your daily challenges, I wouldn't be surprised if in the near future they then add tier skips. So don't get your hopes up, but we're one step closer towards possibly earning those as well. Keep an eye out in case your daily challenges offer you the chance to get a tier skip. The other thing as well is obviously if you had any tier skips from the previous season, they should normally carry over to this season. Like mine did, I had I think at least one and it carried over to Season 5, but I have heard some people saying they've had some and they've just been completely wiped out. So I'm not sure the reason for that, but if you do have tier skips from previous seasons, you should be able to use them in this season. And also if you get towards the end of the season and you probably won't need them, obviously try and save them up and then you might be able to use them for the next season as well to help you in Season 6. You also want to keep an eye out for special events, so like double tier progression comes at least twice a season, normally once in the middle and once towards the end. And just to clarify, double XP itself doesn't count. So when I say that, what I mean is double XP weekends and double XP tokens. A lot of people will try and challenge me on this and say it does count, but it doesn't. Only the double Battle Pass XP tokens, which are much rarer, those will count, or double Battle Pass XP weekends. But the normal double XP tokens do not count, so don't bother using them to try and level up your tiers faster because it won't work. It's a waste of tokens. But talking about tokens, as I said, you can currently get some double Battle Pass XP tokens. I think there's 2 lots of 1 hour, so basically 2 hours of double Battle Pass progression tokens in the game. I'm sure they'll add other ones in the future, maybe through bundles or through challenges and stuff, but for now, the way I know to do it is if you go into Cold War, if you go on the Battle Pass tab or I think in one of the sort of daily messages on the game when you first load it up, it'll talk about activating two-factor authorization, meaning that you have another way to back up your account if you need to verify sort of purchases and sending stuff, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to encourage you to gift battle passes to other people. So they get you to set this up, but if you do that, obviously you don't have to gift a battle pass, but if you set up this two-factor authorization or authentication, go through the process, I think you have to download an app, scan the QR code and so on, go through the process, and at the end of it you will get 2 of those tokens. But obviously that's not the be all and end all, because obviously even if you do use the tokens, you need to be using them effectively, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video in terms of how to level up your tiers as best as possible. The final main way to boost your battle pass progression is by earning COD points from the battle pass, which can be used to buy tiers if you need, but I don't recommend wasting them, and I don't recommend buying COD points. So like I say, the alternative way is if you enter my giveaway, you have a chance to win some COD points and can use it via that method. So those are the boosts. Let's talk about how to level up your tiers fast in Cold War multiplayer, then zombies, then Warzone and Modern Warfare, and then we'll talk about the best method at the end. So in general, the main factor involved in leveling up your tiers is the time played. So the longer a match, the more efficient it is, because you're spending more time in the game and not in the lobby or waiting for the match to load, because that doesn't count towards your battle pass, but actually playing the game does. So therefore, I'm sure you guys realize that that means you need to try and play longer matches where you can in any of the modes, but especially in multiplayer. So longer modes are ones like Domination, Hardpoint, Combined Arms, Fireteam, Dirty Bomb, ones like that. I think also as well certain game modes like Prop Hunt are a bit longer, and I think they give a decent amount of XP too, so that's not a bad one either. The caveat that I always say, as well as playing in a longer match, you need to make sure you're doing well in these matches, basically earning a lot of XP at the same time, because otherwise it counteracts your progress by playing in a longer game. So you want to make sure you're playing in a longer game and you're doing well in those matches. We can obviously talk about some ways to boost the amount of XP you earn. So one of the best ways to get a high amount of XP is by playing Nuketown 24/7 or another Mosh Pit playlist. Like they've got new DLC maps like Echelon, although personally I don't like that one, but they've also got other ones in the past, Raid Express, all of those. They've got the Nuke Jacked playlist at the moment, which is Nuketown and Hijacked, so that's quite good. So any kind of fast playing Mosh Pit mode is great. If there's no good 24/7 matches, but I think there always will be, to be honest with you, if there's not, you want to play longer games with objectives and high XPs. So for example, Domination or Combined Arms, Hardpoint and Domination, those kind of matches. But yeah, Mosh Pit playlists are probably the best, and 12v12 modes are great too, as you can get a ton of XP, a lot of kills, even on maps like Nuketown. So obviously bear in mind that hardcore 12v12 is even better than core because you can get more kills. In general, I think hardcore is better if you don't mind playing it, because you get more kills for the most part, and more kills equals more XP. So ideally, your ideal goal is sort of like Nuketown 24/7 hardcore or any other kind of Mosh Pit hardcore playlist. What are my tips for actually doing well when you're in the match to boost the amount of XP you get in the game? Well, first of all, obviously you want to have a good class. I'm sure you guys know about that, but if you need to level up weapons fast to get better attachments, feel free to check out my weapon XP guide. On top of this, you want to be using your kill streaks, equipment and field upgrades, so put on realistic kill streaks that you can earn, but choose ones that will either help you in the match like UAVs or harps, or ones that will get you a decent amount of kills. So choose the appropriate kill streaks, earn them as often as you can, get as many assists or kills with your equipment, that's lethal or tactical, and obviously use your field upgrades to help you as well. So for example, putting down the field mic will help you see more enemies and get more kills. You want to go for the objective as much as possible. This is the main part of the game that's important. There's no point just going for kills and then having a low objective, because then your team does worse overall and you get less score overall. So you want to be going for the objective as much as you can and getting kills as well. And obviously when you get kills while going for the objective, so for example sitting on a dom flag and killing an enemy, that will boost the amount of XP you get because you're doing the objective at the same time. So if you can overlap them, even better. As well as this, you want to be doing challenges, which I hope will be fairly obvious. And so in multiplayer, you've got the daily challenges, which I said now each day gives you a token as well, which is good to use for other things. Also your career, battle hardened and dark op challenges, and also there's gunfight tournaments and things like that. Also, if you go to the barracks tab, progression, season 5, seasonal prestige challenges, you'll see each challenge gives you XP, which is good. And each challenge will often have several tiers to make it even better. But once you complete all the challenges, I think there's 20 of them in total. If you complete all of them, you'll get a bonus amount of XP for completing the whole season. Obviously, you'll earn the calling card as well, so that's quite good to go for. And like I said, the more challenges you do, higher XP, and the more tier skips you can get, but also the more XP you get as well. So it kind of all interlinks to help you do better in the game. Also, another very important one is camo challenges. This is quite a big one. I know it's a struggle for a lot of people, but it's worth going for, and obviously it looks good for the weapon too. So if you want to go for any camo challenges, I've got a playlist dedicated to that with lots of specific guides for each challenge, so definitely go and check that out. I've got a card for that on the screen and a link in the description to help with gold gun guides and DM Ultra and all of that, so check that out if you need. Also doing the reticle challenges as well. Each optic you use, you can unlock different reticles, and obviously they can help you in the game, but at the same time doing those challenges, like for example get a certain number of kills while aim down sight with a weapon with a certain optic, that will also get you XP as well. So don't forget about those. People often forget. It's not a massive amount of XP, but it all adds up, and this is what I'm trying to get across to you guys. And each time you unlock a certain weapon level, that will give you XP as well. So even though you want to try and use good class setups that have obviously got lots of attachments on them because they've been leveled up, at the same time if there's new weapons, try and level them up too, because that will get you XP for leveling up the weapon. It might even be a better weapon overall, and that variety will likely fulfill a wider range of challenges, and that will all help to boost the amount of XP you earn. I think overall in terms of challenges, you definitely want to try and overlap them as much as possible to get more XP quickly. So very quickly, just to get my point across, you want to try and overlap the daily challenge with your seasonal challenges, with your actual career challenges, and all of those skills. So for example, the daily challenge might say get 50 kills with a launcher, and the battle pass challenge might say get 50 explosive kills. So then obviously you get explosive kills with the launcher, so if you use a launcher and get 50 kills, you unlock both of those. At the same time, it might say for your career challenges like get a kill with both your primary and secondary weapon, and so you can get the launcher kills, but then each time you get a kill with that, swap to your primary weapon, get a kill with that, and then that would complete that challenge too. And at the same time, you could obviously go for camo challenges as well, so kind of the more you overlap, the quicker you can get more XP and the faster you can level up your tiers. That is the key. If you guys get that right, it will be super fast. That's pretty much everything for multiplayer. What about zombies? First of all, what are the kind of main modes for zombies? You've got Onslaught, you've got round-based zombies, and Outbreak. They're all good for battle pass progression. In fact, you've also got Dead Ops Arcade as well. I don't really use Onslaught, it's okay, but I think the other ones are probably better. So in general for zombies, make sure you've got a good survival strategy. Look up some tips for completing the Easter eggs, pack punching a weapon, earning more salvage to upgrade your weapon rarity, buying the perks and upgrading them all to tier 5 and your field upgrades and all that. Using all that will help you to survive longer and do better in the game. Like I say, you want to upgrade all your skills, so that's the weapon classes, perks, ammo mods, field upgrades, all to tier 5 if you can, for which you need the flawless Ethereum crystals, and if you want help with earning those, I made a recent guide and there'll be a card on screen for that or a link in the description. So that's kind of the general tips for zombies. What about the specific modes? Well, for Outbreak, I think there's slightly less battle pass progression per minute compared to the normal round-based zombies. However, it can be a lot more fun, and because time played is the biggest factor, I have a few tips to earn more battle pass XP in this game mode. So like I say, you want to upgrade your weapons and armor, buy perks, things like that, kill all the zombies around the map on the first round on the first difficulty level, which takes a while, but go around doing that. At the same time, you want to complete all the world events, so for example launching dragons, hunting hordes, opening golden chests, the fury crystal events, things like that, and that gives you more XP and gets you a lot more kills. It gets you more cash and you can upgrade stuff, so obviously that's all good for that. And after you've finished everything on the first map, you want to complete the main objective, then and check there's nothing else to do, then warp to the next map and complete the process for as long as you can until you feel you're likely to die or you want to finish the game. At that point you want to exfil to get a final surge of kills and more XP for exfilling rather than just dying. And when you exfil, the chopper gunner score streak can be useful to clear more enemies quickly. Obviously when you exfil at higher rounds, it will obviously help you to earn Ethereum crystals as well, so it's kind of a 2-in-1 bonus. And I definitely think it's worth trying to complete the Outbreak Easter eggs or any of the main map Easter eggs if you can. As well as this, obviously you need to do challenges to help you, so you've got the daily challenges in zombies, the career, battle hardened, requiem advancement and dark ops challenges. And if you go to the barracks tab, progression, season 5 prestige challenges, similar to multiplayer, you'll see that you've got 20 prestige challenges for that season. Each one will give you XP and there's often several tiers to them. And then like I say again, there's bonus XP for completing all 20 prestige challenges in season 5. Also there's different camo challenges for multiplayer compared to zombies. So in zombies you've got the dark ether camos, in multiplayer you've got the DM Ultra camos, so definitely try and go for the zombies ones as well, as that will get you more XP and obviously the camos look quite decent as well. And again, you've got new reticle challenges for zombies, so definitely worth trying to play both zombies and multiplayer, so you can do all the challenges, all the camos, all of that for multiplayer, and then do the same for zombies, because that will increase the amount of XP available from all the challenges you do, and therefore it all helps to level up your battle pass faster. Those are kind of the main tips for zombies. Now let's talk about Warzone, Modern Warfare, and then we'll talk about the best method overall and how to kind of be more efficient about leveling up the battle pass. So for Warzone, it's a great mode as potentially it's a long match with a decent amount of XP if you do okay, but some tips for completing the battle pass: you want to loot as much as you can, get more kills, do lots of contracts. Again, I've got guides for the supply run contracts and then the recon, the bounty and the scavenger contract. contracts. There's a card on screen for that if you need, or link in the description. The more contracts you do, the bigger the contract bonus and the more cash, XP, weapon XP, all of that you do. So you want to do as many contracts as you can in the game. You want to survive for as long as possible if you're playing normal battle royale. So you want to be careful, be safe, don't run a gun too much, otherwise you might die soon, which would equal a poor amount of tier progression because you'd play less game time, get less XP, everything will be slower. So you want to survive as long as you can in battle royale. But if you play plunder and Warzone, that's pretty good too. In fact, it's probably a lot better actually. And the payload mode, I believe that's gone now, but that was pretty good as well. So in terms of Warzone, I think the best method is to play plunder because you get infinite respawns, there's no gas, you get your custom loadout, and what you should do is spawn in. By the way, I've got a full guide for leveling up your tiers just in Warzone, but as a sort of very brief overview to simplify things, you want to go into plunder, and obviously the main objective for plunder is you need to get cash to win the game. So you want to be getting as much cash as possible, and one of the best ways to do that is by opening loot chests. So you want to spawn in to sort of an area that's got probably a decent amount of chests but not loads of people will go to. Drop in there, open as many crates as you can, run around, keep getting more, pick up any cash balloon deposits and deposit the cash in there so that it's safe, or go to a cash deposit site, but that's a bit more risky. You can also use some cash to buy UAVs and advanced UAVs and stuff like that to help you out. At the same time, you want to try and do some contracts as well, so that could be supply run contracts or recon contracts or bounty contracts, whatever you guys want to do. But the main thing is just to run around and open loot crates, and if you do that while doing other things like getting more contracts, getting more kills, that will all help to increase the bonus amount of XP you get at the end of the game, and therefore the total amount of XP you get for that game will be really high. Definitely plunder is probably the best method, but battle royale is pretty good too because you play a lot of in-game time. But like I say, feel free to check out the more detailed guide if you need more help with Warzone. Obviously you've got Rebirth Island as well, and that's pretty good, and you can probably get more kills and more looting and contracts and things, but the matches are shorter, so it's probably less efficient, and unless you do really badly in sort of Warzone Battle Royale or Plunder, I'd recommend sticking to one of the other modes rather than going to Rebirth. But it's still good as well, it just means that you have to spend more time waiting for the next match to load, which can be annoying. And don't forget that the kills in the pre-game lobby count too, so don't forget about that because that will help you to level up tiers faster by getting more XP from challenges or getting kills in that pre-game lobby for Warzone. On top of this, you obviously do want to complete the challenges, so I believe you've got the daily challenges, the mastery challenges and the camo challenges. So daily challenges, similar to the other games, you just want to complete those and try and overlap them with other challenges, like everything really. The mastery challenges are sort of long end-term goal challenges, like get a certain number of wins in Warzone and things like that. There's a few more tricky ones as well, but you want to kind of slowly go for that while you're doing the other challenges. And then the camo challenges, obviously you've got the Black Ops Cold War multiplayer camo challenges, so DM Ultra camo. Definitely try and work towards that either in Cold War or in Warzone. Cold War is easier, but you can still do it in Warzone if you need to. You've also got the Damascus camo from Modern Warfare multiplayer, and I definitely think it's worth trying to go for both of those. And then I'm hoping at some point soon, but I don't want to get my hopes up too much, they will add the Dark Ether camo from Zombies. I had hoped it would be coming to Season 5, but apparently not. So unless they bring it in the Season 5 Reloaded update, they'll either bring it in Season 6 or just not at all. So I'm hoping if they do bring that soon, there might be another way to help you earn it in Warzone, because obviously it involves getting kills with zombies, but we'll see what they do. But definitely try and go for all the camo challenges you can in Warzone, because it's got multiple games worth of camo challenges. And obviously you want to level up weapons too, which will get you more XP. So doing all those things overlapping in Warzone can help you a lot, but like I said, I've got a specific guide for that if you need more tips. Let's now talk about Modern Warfare and how to level up tiers in that game, and then we'll kind of talk about the best methods overall. Modern Warfare, it's fairly similar tips for game modes and XP in that to Black Ops Cold War. So you want to play fast mosh pit modes, possibly ideally hardcore. Recently they had a Shipment Shoot House playlist. I'm not sure if that's still in the game, but if it is, definitely go for that. Shipment's really good for leveling up and progressing your battle pass, so definitely don't give that a miss. It's really, really good. I feel like it's just as good as Nuketown, if not slightly better, but I could be wrong with that one. But I definitely feel like you get a lot of battle pass progression, even though the games are a bit shorter. It's okay because you get a very high amount of XP. At the same time, obviously try and do your challenges in Modern Warfare. You got the daily challenges and I believe some other ones as well, so try and go for those and overlap them. Like I say, if you need to get any Damascus camos or anything like that, definitely try and unlock them. As a side note, I recently did a guide on how to unlock the new CX-9 SMG for Modern Warfare and a best class setup for it, and how to get gold gun on it, and obviously if you've got Damascus camo, how to get Damascus for that weapon as well. So if you need help with that, I've got guides for those. Feel free to check them out on my channel. The other main thing for Modern Warfare is trials. Now they don't offer trial tokens anymore, but you get a set amount of tier progression for each trials, and if you've got trial tokens left, definitely try and use them up. Like I said, they give you a small amount. I think it's about 10%. tier progression per trial. It doesn't matter how long you take to do it, it's a set amount each time. So you want to quickly go in, start the trial, get at least 1 star on it, so you have to pass it, but you don't have to pass it well. As soon as you do that, quit it, complete it, quit it, do the next one, and keep doing that, and that should get you some tier progression as well. So that's kind of everything for Modern Warfare. Obviously a lot of the tips overlap from Cold War, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. The next thing I want to talk about is people asking whether they'll be able to complete the battle pass in time. What's my advice for this? How to know whether you're doing enough progress towards it, things like that. So definitely, I always think it's worth trying to level up the battle pass first and then buying it later if you think you get your money's worth. There is no point buying it and then getting to like tier 10, 15 and then just not doing anymore, because then you've paid for the battle pass and you wouldn't have needed the items from it. A lot of the stuff that you would want is free, so some of the COD points you can earn are free, both the weapons are free and some of the skins and weapon skins and things like that are free too. So obviously some of the good stuff is locked behind that paywall, but do you really want it? As there's lots of other stuff you could buy on the store instead, or you could just go without it. It's up to you. If you really want it, then obviously try and level up your battle pass first, and if you think you're going to get there, buy it to kind of finish it off, and that way you'll know you get it, rather than paying for it and actually not getting what you wanted, because obviously that's a waste of money. I definitely think it's worth, guys, trying to set yourself a goal. So saying, for example, I want to get 2 tiers done on average every day, which might be like 3 tiers on one day and 1 tier on another day, but on average that still works out as 2 tiers. Just note though that it seems, unlike in Modern Warfare, the higher tier you are, the longer it takes to progress from one tier to the next. So what I mean is, for example, from tier 99 to 100 is going to be quite a bit longer than it will be from going from tier 1 to tier 2. Similar to how the normal XP progression system works, don't fall into the trap of thinking that all the tiers are the same. They're not. The higher ones take longer to get to the next tier. So even though on average you want to be getting a certain amount of tiers per day, you want to try and get the earlier ones done as quickly as possible, so you have more times for the harder ones towards the end of the battle pass. I just hope you guys bear that in mind, otherwise I don't want you guys to be leaving it all to last minute and then saying, damn, I've got to do like 50 tiers in the next day, because it's just not possible. If you want to know how many tiers you need to be doing every day, the answer is it's 100, which is the total number of tiers, minus the tier you're on, and then you divide that by the number of days left in the season. So for example, if I'm on tier 60 and there's 20 days left in the battle pass, that's 100 minus 60, which is 40. Divide that by 20, which would be 20 days left, let's say, and then that equals 2 tiers per day on average. But just bear in mind that the higher tiers take longer to go through. So that's how you need to work out how many tiers on average you need to be doing per day to kind of stay on track. Finally, let's talk about which game modes are best. So obviously this all depends on how well you do on each mode, how long you last, things like that. Generally, longer matches are better than shorter ones, and if you're getting a decent amount of XP, that's an important factor too. But just bear in mind, short, very high XP games can sometimes be better than longer ones with less XP, but not always. Generally, in my opinion, the best modes are as follows. So I think Black Ops Cold War multiplayer like Nuketown or a good mosh pit mode or Domination or Combined Arms or something like that, especially with hardcore, is a very, very, very good option for multiplayer. What you've got to bear in mind though is that you have to keep waiting for the game to end, starting the next one and so on. Whereas if you play zombies to higher rounds, or you can go for long games in Outbreak, that's probably just as good, if not slightly better, because you're playing one continuous game, not waiting for the next one to load and start and stuff. And also in multiplayer you die. You have to remember that sometimes you have better games, sometimes you have worse games, especially with skill-based matchmaking, and that if you're having a bad game, obviously you won't get as many kills, you won't get as much XP, and that will kind of impact it. Whereas with zombies, it's one continuous thing. You just keep getting kills, and as long as you're not going to die on an early round, as long as you've got a decent game, you can just keep going for a while, and it's one continuous thing. And I found that when I was playing these longer games, I was getting a lot of battle pass progression. In my opinion, if you're good at multiplayer, that's good. Otherwise, if you're quite good at zombies, or you're able to survive to a decent round, that's probably slightly better. Obviously this can all change and it depends on what you guys want to play, but that's kind of my opinion. What about the other modes? Well, I think Warzone is great. It's probably just as good, if not slightly better, than multiplayer and possibly zombies. If you survive for a long time and you're getting a decent amount of XP from kills, contracts, etc. I think Plunder is a lot better than normal Battle Royale, especially if you're getting a lot of cash using the method I say. I think when I was doing that in Warzone, I was getting 3 tiers done an hour. So you can imagine if I then put my double Battle Pass XP token on top of that, that would be 6 tiers in an hour. That's insane. So Plunder could well be one of the best modes for getting this done. And then finally, Modern Warfare, it's similar to Cold War, but I'd only recommend it really if you've got a good mode like Shipment 24/7 or Shoot House or anything like that you really want to play and it's quite good. Other than that, I don't know if it's worth playing, but obviously if you get bored of any of the other games, it's probably worth going to play that as well. Finally, just bear in mind that not all modes will give you progression if you leave. So some will, some won't, and if you notice that if you leave a game and it doesn't give you progression, next time time, stick it out and wait till the end so that you don't have to lose that time that you've put into that match for it then not to count towards your battle pass. But those are kind of my main tips for leveling up tiers fast in Black Ops Cold War and Warzone. I hope you found these tips useful. Obviously, if you did, be sure to leave a like on the video. It really helps me out, and feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on to stay up to date with all my latest Cold War and Warzone videos. Feel free to enter the giveaway if you guys want to be in with a chance of winning some COD points, and check out any of the other guides I mentioned in this video if you need to. Good luck with unlocking the battle pass or any other tips. If you need any specific challenge guides or anything else you want me to cover, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys all on the next video.